So she made a post silencing the View. And you know what I just read today? ABC is reviewing the liberal bias on The View. The View, the show with 5 women speaking their own opinions, that they're a threat now.
Donald Trump, I want to thank you for personally telling so many lies and committing so many alleged crimes and providing us with material on a daily basis.
It's not balanced to be biased. The women on The View don't intimidate anybody. They're just ignorant. When you have a bad take every time you come on television, and people like Brandon Tatum reacts to your bad takes every single day, like, people are going to start waking up to seeing how incredibly biased you really are. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly why I love Ground.News. When I look up stuff, when I'm looking at Gaza stories, when I'm looking at what Donald Trump is doing, when I'm looking at news, it's hard to determine what's real and what's fake. With all the fake news that's out there, it's hard to determine who's behind some of these articles that are being written. With Ground.News, you don't have to worry about that. Just say if you want to go to the Gaza-Israeli conflict. Half of these news outlets, you have no idea where they stand. But when you click on it and you look at the title, you can see all the information that you need to know. Who's behind it, who's funding it, is it the left, the right? You can even go here and see which articles are from a left outlet on the same topic, center, right. You can't find this anywhere else. And people often ask me, Brandon, why are you so good and knowledgeable about information that is out there? Because I see both sides and I never get caught off guard. And this is why I want to tell you real quickly about the blind spot. I never get caught off guard because I visit the blind spot and I see which articles that Republicans aren't talking about that I probably need to pay attention to. Like, this is an example, J.D. Vance. Hardly anybody on the right is talking about this. Everybody on the left is talking about this. It's probably something to pay attention to. Everybody on the right is talking about this. Nobody on the left is talking about this specifically in this article about Robert Mueller. That's how you stay informed to combat the foolery. Right now, you can get 40% off the same Vantage plan that I use that gives you full access. Everything that I showed you and a lot more. Just go to ground.news/Tatum or click the link in the description section, or you can scan the QR code. You can also enter code Tatum in the mobile app. So again, that's ground.news/Tatum. Don't let the media play you. Let's put that garden tool on there. Rosie O'Donnell and The View versus Trump. So she made a post silencing The View. And you know what I just read today? ABC is reviewing the liberal bias on The View. The View, the show with 5 women speaking their own opinions, that they're a threat now. Okay, they say that they're not canceling it. They're just reviewing the bias, which any reasonable person would do, which is code for we're going to cancel it. We're just trying to soften it first. Because it's not enough to run the country into the ground. You have to control what people see, what they hear, and what they think. This is so rich. And The View, well, that's a little too much women. A little too much truth, a little too much Joy Behar saying, I don't think the insurrection was a tourist visit. Let's see, apparently the truth is dangerous now. They say that they want balance, but what they really mean is silence. Silence anything that doesn't praise the orange Messiah and his golden escalator of a lie. I'm not gonna be able to see the rest of it because it's behind the teleprompter. I think you guys can get the gist of what she is saying, and she's completely, I want to use the R word, but I don't want to overuse it. She's completely wrong. It's not balanced to be biased. The women on The View don't intimidate anybody. They're just ignorant. When you have a bad take every time you come on television, and people like Brandon Tatum reacts to your bad takes every single day, like, people are going to start waking up to seeing how incredibly biased you really are. Y'all have no balance on the show. A bunch of PMS women on the show, probably half of them having menopause. Heat Flash, Whoopi Goldberg, that's literally unhinged. Y'all got to give legal disclaimers, legal notes almost every time you come on the show because y'all emotional about news instead of giving factual information. Mm-hmm. It's not a crime to say We are not making money on The View.
What he's saying is true, because they all biased. They're not no left wing or right wing. They all left wing biases. Sonny is a great great granddaughter to a slave owner. Shocker, ain't it? Her husband is in jail for hospital fraud and everything. And what's her name? The white woman, whatever her name, the one supposed to be pro-not sexist. She'd tear anybody down who don't agree with her. Yeah. The people that say they're not biased, they are biased. You're saying they're right wing or left wing? No, they're all fucking left wing. You sit there and listen to them, they all left wing. And Sonny and Whoopi Goldberg acting like they're all high and mighty. Every time they get on stage, they costing NBC more money. Every time they open their mouth, a lawsuit. Look at that. Donald Trump sued them. Carrie Underwood sued them. JD, lady for a spokeswoman, Trump sued them. Carrie Underwood even sued them for almost $88 million. With trash in her name. Because she went there and sang at Donald Trump's inauguration. She did not want to. She went there anyway. As a patriot. Not because she likes Trump. Not because she's Republican thing. She's a patriot. Means she loves her country. Don't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. But these people on The View, these hot flashing, menopause, on the rag bitches, got bones. When Trump was not running for president, Whoopi Goldberg was basically trying to eat his ass. Yeah, you heard me right. Whoopi Goldberg will be trying to suck his dick or kiss his ass for money. He did not run for president. Now he run for president as a Republican instead of Democrat. He's the enemy. And that's something kind of funny, ain't it? It shows you what kind of hypocrites they are. As long as you give them money or do what they want, they're fine. But as long as you want to run for something to make the country better, you're the enemy. That's the positive of it right there. That's their biases. They show everything wrong with the Democrats, but they won't show nothing wrong with the Republicans. They show everything wrong. Screw that. Fuck. What's that? What do we do? Oh boy, sorry about that. They'll show everything wrong with the Republicans, but never with the Democrats. Sorry, I get a little tongue tied when I get this. I get a little rowdy up about this. I speak too fast sometimes. My mind will run faster. This is how I am. Especially when it comes down to politics, stuff like this. Especially after I've seen shit goes on. How the Democrats treat people, then blame it on the Republicans. For example, Republicans helped black communities out back in 1920. And everything. Gave Black Wall Street. 1923, they got blowed up. Because the Democrats wanted it to happen. You see how I'm talking about how ridiculous they get when they start talking shit about Republicans. Keep that in mind. They don't care about blacks people. Democrats don't care about the blacks, don't care about the whites, they don't care about the foreigners. That's all they care about. Watch how they act, talk. You see what I'm talking about. Alright.
Anymore because we got 5 dumb women on there that are completely ignorant. Joy, what's her name? Not Joy Reid. That's another one. No, not the other black girl. Sunny Hostin literally lying about racism every time she come on there. Talking about somebody did some racist stuff somebody called her an N-word at the beach. And no video, nobody's ever heard about it, no complaints, no police report, no nothing. She wants you to believe it. Somebody called her son an N-word. Man, ain't nobody worry about your son. And then I looked at him, he looked Mexican. Like, what y'all talking about, man? So this is the crazy stuff that she said. And y'all all know, The View is terrible. It's fodder for me. It's views for me. But like the public watching women look stupid and talk stupid and have bad takes in softball interviews. Every day they hate Trump. Like, at some point, it's enough is enough. Now let's play Stewhead on a compilation of the things that The View has said, of the Stewheads, of the things that The View have said about Trump. Let's just roll it. Come on, roll it. We'll put it out there.
I have a personal legal note. Yes. Donald Trump, I want to thank you for personally telling so many lies and committing so many alleged crimes and providing us with material on a daily basis. You help us do our jobs, and I'm so appreciative. Because of people like you, a former prosecutor and legal expert can become a fixture on a show like this. And again, I'm so grateful. I admit I may not have spent as much time in a courtroom as you have. That's a good one.
Hold on. I will admit I haven't spent more time in the courtroom as you have. And she's supposed to be a prosecutor or attorney.
Mm-hmm.
A prosecutor. And this guy only been in the courtroom probably 5 times. So, ma'am, you telling me you don't have the experience of being in the courtroom more than 5 times?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a joke? That's funny. Okay. That would make sense. Roll clip.
I was also recognized with a Special Achievement Award
Yeah,
by
being
the
retarded.
Department of Justice. You remember the Department of Justice, right? It's the agency that's been pursuing you for decades. And like Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, I've had a history of prosecuting sex offenders. So thank you for keeping people like us in business.
Hold on.
And
Did she have to retract that?
Mm-hmm.
She said sex offenders prosecution. Trump has never been prosecuted for a sex offense ever in his life. This is why y'all ain't on the air. Never in his life have been prosecuted for a sex offense. Civilly sued, and I think that lady completely lied. Yes. Anyway, roll the clip.
as for dumb questions, you're always welcome to come here and answer some. If sitting so close to a prosecutor won't make you nervous. I'll even give you a free View mug. Not to be confused, though, with the mug shot. Because that's your area.
He meant everything he said.
You disagree with the policy, and that's okay, but there are a lot of people in the country that look at what he's doing and are applauding it and are saying, we like this executive order. We like that you're
That
setting up
brings
more
me
crime.
back to this
They do.
question. It brings me back to the question. So the question is, when you put some of these things side by side, what kind of religion you're supposed to have? You're supposed to have one religion. Okay, so
People don't see it as that, though. They don't accept that
Well,
premise.
why not?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
You realize, I mean, it's chilling what he just said. You realize that when he says, yes, families can be deported together, what he is saying is that U.S. citizens can be deported. What he is saying is, if the parent is undocumented and they have U.S. citizen children or U.S. citizen spouse, or and you don't want to separate them, then let's deport the U.S.
Hold on,
citizens.
let's pause this.
Oh yeah.
Even
That
in
bullshit
the
there.
highlight tape, I can't just let him talk. You know how stupid that is? He's saying, if you want to all go back together, you can. Ain't no way in the world he's saying we're going to deport citizens. You can't even do that and nobody cares.
Okay, now that was kind of stupid what she just said. You heard what the reporter says that if you want to go and you have a legal wife and she gets deported as a kid, you want to go with her, you can. They're not just going to deport the whole family. If you're an unlegitimate immigrant, you have a kid over here in America, they can still send you and the kid there, and if your husband wants to go or your wife wants to go and you're the immigrant, you can go with them. We'll just play that little clip right back real quick, shall we? So this is what I'm talking about. The View are full of shit. Full of shit. And listen closely. Here you go again.
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
You realize, I mean, it's chilling what he just said. You realize.
It did not say nothing about U.S. citizens. Okay, if family has one immigrant and they want to go, then the whole family can go. You're not just there deporting citizens, U.S. citizens. Okay, if you're U.S. citizens and you have a affair with somebody that's not American or a legal immigrant, you can go there too, according to where they come from. Okay, they're not just talking about U.S. citizens. They give you a choice. You can go with that person that getting deported, or you can stay here. But these stupid bitches right here, especially bitch right here, don't know what she's fucking talking about. Really don't know what she's talking about. Just watch how she acts.
When he says, yes, families can be deported together. What he is
If you
saying
want to go.
is that U.S. citizens can be
They
deported.
say US
What he is
citizens.
saying is, if the parent is undocumented and they have U.S. citizen children or U.S. citizen spouse, and you don't want to separate them, then let's.
He did not say that. He did not say that right there. See, this is the problem with a lot of you is giving NABC News so much legal trouble. They don't got their fucking rights. They don't all up in there, okay? When the women on the View opens their mouth, ABC has to get that checkbook out. Write those big checks for the lawsuits. Millions of dollars because of these stupid bitches. Run their mouth, run their mouth, run their mouth, run their mouth. They're all racist, they're all stupid, they're all on the rad, they're all on menopause. They're having the hot flashes, they're not getting enough dick in their diet. None of that. Now I'm gonna switch back over.
Separation of kids, because now they got to take the kids while they take them, the parents, to the court hearing. And then when a parent have a deportation order, they allow the kid to stay with somebody else in the government system. No, they get deported together if you don't want to separate the family. Or if you so sad about your auntie who was illegally in America getting deported, why don't you go back with her and make sure she's safe? Okay, roll it.
And finally, we talk a lot about these different demographics and these assumptions of where they're going to go. Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border.
It's
the border
misogyny.
crisis is on their doorstep.
So-
and they were begging people to care about it for years. We
Misogyny
need to
and
take some
sexism.
lessons.
That's what that was.
The lessons are not
Knock,
misogyny
knock.
and sexism.
Who's there? Oh my gosh, it's Whoopi.
I'm surprised at the result, but I'm not surprised. As a woman of color, I
Oh,
was
here
so
goes the race
hopeful
baiter.
that a mixed race woman married to a Jewish guy could be elected president of this country. And I think that it had nothing to do with policy. I think this was a referendum of cultural resentment in this country.
Well, I think it.
She gotta use race. About every fucking
Who
thing.
tried to overthrow the government on January 6th?
Wait, let me think. Who?
Who was that again? That was not Obama. Okay, remember. You know, the thing about him is that he's so jealous of Obama because Obama is everything that he is not.
Yeah.
Trim,
Yeah.
smart, handsome,
Happily married.
happily married, and can sing Al Green's song, Let's Stay Together, better than Al Green.
Yeah.
And Trump cannot stand it. It's driving him crazy. Jealousy is not green is not a good color.
May I disagree?
All right.
I think that I'd like to reframe the conversation. I think Bernie Sanders is wrong. I think the more relevant question actually is what is wrong with America? I think what is wrong with our country that the Republican Party would choose as a candidate and support a candidate who is an insurrectionist, who
I got a question. Sonny, who gives two shits about what you guys say? Aren't you the great-granddaughter of a slave trader? Yeah, your great-grandfather and your grandfather them and them before had slaves. So why are you talking about you a proud black woman when you are the descendant of a slave owner? Oh, what do you mean by that? Look up her ancestry tree. Her great-grandfather, her great-grandfather before that, so on, owned slaves. And then she talking about reparations. Are you gonna pay the slaves that your grandfathers own? Yes or no, Sonny? Before you start digging other people's background and start calling them bad stuff, look in your fucking family tree, bitch. Really, look in your fucking family tree. So before you open your mouth, look in your back tree. Look in your family tree, open up the closet, shake the tree, and listen to the skeletons rattle. Cause you, Sonny, is a descendant of a slave owner. Big time slave owner. think one of the biggest ones there within the over here in the United States of America. If I'm not mistaken, you had over 5,000 something slaves in your family tree back then. Grandfather, granddaddy, grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles, all the way back then owned slaves. But here you are want to talk about how bad Trump is. Let's go back here now.
Election denier, who is someone who is twice impeached, 34-time convicted felon.
Twice impeached.
Has been accused of alleged sexual misconduct by
34-time convicted felon is very different than 34-count convicted felon. Get a convicted felon 34 times is alluding to the fact that it's almost like he did it 34 different convictions. He was convicted on 34 different charges, one conviction, not 34 different convictions. I mean, you get what I'm saying. Like, these women are silly. I can't listen to it anymore. All right, I think I heard enough.
Are you a no-show boss from hell who terrorizes staffers?
Oh my goodness. We're not going to do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just
You just voted to do
Y'all
it.
did it first, so you
You
don't
just
want to talk about
voted to do it.
Order.
I'm
trying to get
Okay.
clarification.
Look at calm down. Calm down.
No, because this
I
is
would
what
like to
y'all
get
do.
through-
Are you a no-show boss from hell who terrorizes staffers?
Oh my goodness.
This video is brought to you by Tatum Store. Brought to you by Tatum Store. Check it out. Brand new shirt. Trump has great jeans. That somebody's like, Brandon, wherever you wear a man on your shirt, y'all know why we wearing it. Show some support if you like it, if you think it's funny, if it's something you want to troll with, or if you just think it's a great design. Our guys did an incredible job. I don't know nobody that can screen print this and make it look as authentic as we did right here on the mock-up. So go and get it. Put Jeans 20, get 20% off. Jeans 20, get 20% off. And show your support to the Tatum Store. It's a way that we keep this thing running as well. It's providing you good conservative merch where you can trigger whoever you want to all day long. Let's talk about Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crocker Sugar Honey Iced Tea. And the reports is that she's a terrible boss. Staff has come out and said that she's hard to deal with. Are you shocked? I'm not shocked. I don't think nobody that follow me is shocked. She's so ghetto and ignorant that you think she's somehow a good person to her staff?
Have you ever heard them say if, since we've been sitting here for I don't know how long? Because honestly, if they would continue to say if or Hunter and we were playing a drinking game, I would be drunk by now.
Ms. Crockett.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman, and it also sounds like you have to know something about math. My colleague brought that up as well. It sounds like you need to be at least somewhat decent at counting to be with IRS. Yes, you'd agree? Okay.
I agree.
Because right now what they're doing is they're peddling Russian lies. Basically, the Republicans have become synonymous for Russians at this point.
Well, you should ask Ro Khanna about my credibility.
I haven't asked you a question. Okay?
You are?
When I haven't. So when I ask you a question, that's when you answer. Otherwise, I'm talking. So,
Excuse me?
with my time, because it's my time.
Is that a question?
It's not a question.
Okay.
You'll know when I ask you a question, I promise. I'm trying to get
Okay.
clarification.
Look at calm down. Calm down.
No, because this
I
is
would
what
like to
y'all
get
do.
through proceedings.
So I'm trying to
Hey,
get
Miss
clarification.
Crockett, you're not
You don't wanna
recognized.
play
Miss
games.
I
Crockett.
can't hear you with your
And you
yelling.
don't want
Calm
me to be-
down.
No,
Can you please calm
don't
down?
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I
Look,
come,
Chairman,
if I
can we
come and
send
talk
outside to
shit
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a problem.
People who are ghetto and ignorant in public, they're probably even worse in private. If you come out talking like her in public, you something ain't right with you. But Jesse Waters is going to set the record straight. Roll the clip.
But when the cameras are off, Crockett's real claws come out. Staffers say she bites harder than she barks. And the whole fighting for you act, one big cheap fake. She even works from home. Quote, she's laying around her apartment, won't come into the office, and is really just indifferent to staff and will scream at them. When Crockett actually shows up for work, she wants to be treated like Governor Hot Wheels. She hates using her legs. She demands her staff play chauffeur and drive from the Capitol to her office. It's only a few blocks. And the car can't be some cheap Subaru. It's got to be an Escalade. After that, the aide must, and this is important, stand outside the car and open the door like it's the Met Gala. Another aide says Crockett's obsessed with being the black Sydney Sweeney. Quote, she's focused almost exclusively on being an influencer, not a member of Congress. Crockett's all diva, no wow. And Crockett might talk a big DEI game, but if you're black, you're the first to get the pink slip. Quote, I don't want to hear Jasmine Crockett talk about helping black women when she just fired one for no reason.
Turns out she may be a toxic boss, according to the New York Post. Here's the headline. Trump critic Rep. Jasmine Crockett is a no-show boss from hell who terrorizes staffers. Aides say, all diva, no wow. Inside, you see a quote, former aide to Crockett, saying that they don't like their boss. She is lying around her apartment, won't come into the office, and is just really indifferent to staff and will scream at them. She is never in the office and is very disengaged. She does her BS that goes viral and then freaks out over the most random things.
I mean, who's surprised? I mean, this is my favorite Congresswoman. I enjoy her because I think if you promote someone like this, then you can just kiss the national election goodbye. And honestly, I don't think this was like a secret. She kind of acts this way publicly as well, but she's getting the Amy Klobuchar treatment. Abuses the staff. Kamala Harris, with her behind the scenes, abuses her staff, doesn't really do the work, trying to look for viral moments, and she's really not effective as well. What piece of legislation can you say she has been successful on? What piece of legislation has she changed the country on?
Well, unfortunately, fame is a very powerful drug, and clearly it has gotten to her head. I interviewed Congressman Chairman James Comer, and I asked him about her because she's on the Oversight Committee. And he said when she first came to Congress, totally different person than she is today. It's like night and day. And then we saw that in do you remember the Atlantic profile piece? Mm-hmm. She said she was shutting down the profile and revoking all permissions like you have the authority to do so. Because the Atlantic reporter had the audacity to ask other Democrats about her, and then apparently her lock screen is like a photo of herself.
The Escalade. She asked the staff to use the Escalade. They have to rent an Escalade to come pick her up. Now, normally, members let their interns as well as their schedulers just use their personal car, and they can come pick her up. But she requires them to go rent the Escalade just to drive, and they have to be waiting outside of the Escalade with the door open.
Laura, I'm sure you're surprised.
You mentioned Amy Klobuchar. It's unclear whether or not Jasmine Crockett eats salads with a comb, which was, of course, rub on her. We reached out, actually, or Fox News Digital reached out to Rep. Crockett for comment. We have yet to hear back.
Are y'all shocked? Who's the other person that got in trouble for being a nut job that they said? Oh, Lizzo. Y'all remember Big Bone? Lizzo? Vicky Smalls? Well, she got sued by women who were in her entourage. I don't know if it's like her dancers, backup dancers, singers and stuff. She got sued, I think, by them because she was fat shaming. Bro, I'm telling y'all, man, like, I always try to make sure I'm never that person. But people that get so bent out of shape and they're so mean to people and they're so unforgiving, they are the ones that have the most issues in their personal life.
Are you a no-show boss from hell who terrorizes staffers?
Oh my goodness. Listen, I know that I have arrived, honey. That is the way that I see this. Because as Beyonce says, if they're not talking about you, then obviously you must not be doing anything. You know what? This is just more slander, more nonsense, more lies. And honestly, I don't think that the New York Post would probably be the first ones to be able to figure out if I was a boss from hell. You and I were joking before we got on camera about all of the scrutiny that comes with being not only woman, but being young and being a black woman. There's a lot of scrutiny that comes my way, and it comes my way from all different angles. But when people start talking about you, that's when you know that you are obviously getting under their skin. So I am not going to give up. There's a song that I like to quote every once in a while. It says, "Your hate is my motivation." So keep hating. All it does is motivate me to continue to do what I do which is to be loud and proud on behalf of the American people.
You see somebody just so mean-spirited, and they're always bashing other people and trying to bash people's character, and they are normally people with poor character. I'm telling you, man, and it's not just the Democrats. There's some conservatives that do the same thing. You go and meet them, and y'all can ask anybody that ever met me. I'm the most down-to-earth person. I probably shouldn't be. When it comes, that's not down to earth, but I probably shouldn't be as accessible, right? I mean, some of the people in my position, they try to skirt off, and you can't really talk to them, and they got security and all this stuff. And I'm not like that, man. Maybe I should have some security, but I'm for the people, man. I go out in the crowd, talk to people, take pictures. I'm not the type of guy that's just too good to do that. I would never be that guy. But there's people that are. They feel empowered and making themselves more than what it is. If I wanted to be a narcissist like that, I could. I got enough money to hire a security team to follow me around, and you know, you can get security in different states when you travel to meet you at the airport, and you know how people will look at you when security's walking around you. They're like, "Who's that? Who's that? Who's that?" I remember when I first started doing stuff. Me and my brother was in Vegas, and we were trying to film some content in Vegas, and he's like, "Just walk, and I'm gonna film you while you walk." And people thought I was a celebrity or something, right? I'm in Vegas, and my brother's like walking and filming me. They thought he was paparazzi or something, and they like, "Who is he?" I'm like, "Man, I had 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. I wasn't even a social media person at the time." But it's funny how you got people like her who are narcissistic, and it seems as if the position pulls the narcissist out of society to be that person. I've been to Congress before, and I can see why people get the big head. And all the staffers there, because we were there, we talked to staffers, they say that that's what happened. These people get to Congress and they get the big head because you got a lot of power and you got to dress up every day. And who's who, and who's hanging out with this person, and who knows this person, and who's meeting with this person, and having lunch with this person, and who's, you know, I'm on Capitol Hill, and I'm on television, and people recognize you in public. And it just builds this weird persona because these people are nobodies before they become Congress members. It's like being celebrities overnight. And you're making if you're a congressman, you're making like 170. If you're a I say congressman, if you're House of Representative, you're making like 170. If you're a senator, you're making like 2-something a year to just vote. And some of these people don't even vote on nothing. They don't even do anything. Their staffers write all of their legislation that they try to propose. Anyway, it's crazy. But are you shocked is the real question.
Attack those two pro-life
A woke judge said that pro-life activists deserve to get killed or beaten. This is the same fat-ass black judge that let the attacker go free. And now he went and attacked people that wanted babies living, not to be abortionized, killed. This is the kind of shit I'm saying about Democrat judges like this doing this bullshit right here. People who vote for these Democrats, you should be ashamed of yourselves. This is the reality y'all get. This is what y'all voted for. This is what y'all get. And everything. So yeah. Y'all asked for this. Y'all wanted this. Now y'all got it. So don't come up crying and whining about, oh, this is not right. We were duped. I had 200 years to learn about the Democrat history. I did not want to do that. 200 years. I voted for Democrats to do this shit, and they done it. And now, y'all want everything to be touchy-feely in your... No, y'all woke people, or y'all woke Democrats and woke people are to blame for a lot of shit going down. Do I feel sorry for it? No, I don't. Because to be honest, I'm enjoying every single minute of it. Because y'all done that shit and everything. So y'all deserve what y'all get. Every single working moment I deserve every waking moment of it. The time it hits y'all to the time that y'all realize what's going on, y'all deserved it. So many times it makes no effing sense. But, what can I say? Y'all are dumb. Get back to it.
Baltimore Planned Parenthood will not be facing prison time. One of the victim's attorneys, again, tells Fox 45 News it was a slap on the wrist.
One of the pillars of our constitutional republic is this idea that we are under the rule of law, not the rule of men. And in fact, we have certain symbols in our nation that are supposed to actually demonstrate this. First and foremost, and one of the most obvious, is Lady Justice. Now, Lady Justice isn't depicted wearing a blindfold for no reason. This is based on the idea that you should be judged based on the circumstances of your case, and justice should be blind. If you commit the crime, you do the time, or some such thing. And by the way, if you happen to have been a pro-life supporter during the course of the Biden administration, you felt the harsh hand of justice. If you were singing prayers in front of an abortion clinic, guess what? You would not only be charged with trespassing, which is normal, you would be charged under the FACE Act, a federal law, because supposedly you were violating the constitutional rights of people, even if we could see on the video that what the government was claiming was patently false. In fact, if you got into a dispute where somebody confronted your 12-year-old child and you happened to be a pro-life supporter and you decided to get that person away from said child, you would be raided by the federal government, your home would be busted into, and they would prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. And again, on its own, even though those cases seem absolutely ridiculous, and one of them seems like a blatant violation of the First Amendment, part of our justice system is that we work things out in the courts, and as long as we have some kind of even-handedness, it can maintain legitimacy. However, this case out of Baltimore that we're going to talk about today is the exact opposite of that. In this particular case, despite the fact that prosecutors pursued a 10-year sentence against a man who decided to physically assault two pro-life demonstrators, both of whom were elderly, and included in said assault was him knocking one of them to the ground and kicking him square in the face, causing permanent damage, the judge decided to forego any kind of jail time or consequences and give this individual, Patrick Brice, 1 year home confinement and 3 years of probation. So essentially, no jail time for savagely attacking pro-life demonstrators, and obviously this is meant to send a message. When Democrats are in charge, if you're on the wrong side of the abortion issue, you will not only be shouted down and attacked in the streets, but if you dareth cross a line that the Democrats have deemed the line of protest, then you will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But if you're out there protesting, you're not violating anything, and the feds can't figure out a way to prosecute you, and some random person comes up off the streets and physically attacks you, guess what? Slap on a wrist for that individual. We got a woke judge who's going to say innocent Beba Angel Aladdin, and it's going to be no big deal because honestly, you shouldn't have held those positions in the first place. And this is what we're going to talk about today. But before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money. Okay?
The attacker who shoved, kicked, and pushed those two gentlemen, those two older gentlemen that were the protesters, he was in court for sentencing this week, and the judge sentenced that man to 1 year of home detention and 3 years of probation. Now, the attorney for one of those victims, he tells me this sentencing, it wasn't the right decision, the outcome of it, but he says he knew no prison time was a possibility.
The sentence does not fit the crime.
Attorney Terrell Roberts and his client Mark Crosby were in court when Patrick Brice was sentenced on Thursday.
Did you expect that no jail time was in the realm of possibilities for this sentencing?
Yes, from this particular judge, I did expect that.
So first of all, it is very telling that the attorney for the people who are actually attacked in this particular situation says that he knew going into this particular case, based on the judge who was overseeing it, that no jail time was definitely 100% a possibility. And I want to make something clear to everybody out there in the audience. This is not a woke prosecutor situation, because the Baltimore State's Attorney's Office, which is currently being run by Ivan Bates, actually pushed for a 10-year sentence due to the violent and savage nature of this assault. This is 100% on the judge, who decided, you know what, I don't really care if you knock an elderly person to the ground on video and then kick him square in the face after attacking another elderly person. I'm going to give that a free pass, because honestly, what were these elderly white people thinking when they decided to be pro-life activists? Honestly, these people kind of deserve to be kicked in the face. Punch a Nazi, after all. And if you held any belief that is to the right of these black activist judges, you're an evil white racist, you're a Nazi, and you deserve the pain. And to be clear, Patrick Brice is a white individual. This is not a case that involves black crime or anything of the sort. It involves attacking a pro-life person, a Republican person, or somebody who's at least conservative leaning, and a woke judge deciding, no big deal, nothing to worry about. And by the way, the judge is a woman called Yvette Michelle Bryant, and you could take a look at her right here. And honestly, based on her record, we should not be surprised by this soft sentence for somebody that she agrees with politically.
Brice left Crosby with a bloody face, bruises across his body, and permanent damage to his right eye. Crosby was 73 when the attack happened on May 26, 2023. The other victim, Richard Schaefer, was 84.
So right here we see the extent of the injuries against this 70-plus-year-old man who happens to be a pro-life demonstrator. And of course we hear the other victim in this particular case happened to be 84 years old. Apparently it is perfectly fine for a young man to attack elderly people, as long as, of course, they hold the wrong positions politically. But I think it's important for all of us to examine at least some of the video, what I can show you on YouTube, so you can understand exactly how ridiculous this case is, and clearly and obviously how this person is a serious ongoing threat to society, despite the fact that he said he just got so angry he lost control of himself, and for some reason the judge deciding that that was a-okay and nothing to worry about, even though again he's going to be confronted at some point in his life with somebody who has differing political views from him. So the idea that you could just let this one go on the off chance he